All right, so the time is literally running out. But what do I mean by that? Well, basically, it feels like you are on a roller coaster and you're hitting that pinnacle in real estate and now you're at the top. You know, the only way is the way down. But what do you do now? So I would like to give you a few examples. I would like to give you my take on it, and let's get into the video together. All right, so as I have mentioned, like the time is running no matter what. But for some of you, the time is running out and you take too much time in order to make that particular decision. You have been stuck in, let me put it this way. You have been stuck on that roller coaster feeling that you're only riding upwards. And it has been like that. It has been like that for a long time. But now your stomach might be turning the other way around because once the gravity hits downwards, you're gonna feel sick. And that's exactly what is going on. But despite all of that stuff, you are still taking time in order to make those decisions. So I would like to get into that. And specifically what I would like to get into is that you know your situation better than everyone else. All right? You know your situation. If your financial situation did not get any better, if your, let's say, job or employment did not increase significantly so you can afford all these burdens that you have accumulated on the ride going up, now it's time to make those decisions quick. And sometimes you have to make those decisions while you still have time. So as I have mentioned in the beginning of the video, some of you are running out of time. So what do I mean by that? So let me give you an example. I have friends that own a pre-construction condominium. So nothing wrong with that. They bought it, they took the funds from a borrowed property, from the property that they already have. So they borrowed those funds from that particular property. They sunk it into this particular project, knowing that everything will go according to plan, which is always the plan. That's what you should kind of anticipate or think. But they didn't think it through. What would happen if that was the missing part? What would happen if a partner loses a job? What would happen if we cannot get approved for that particular mortgage? What would happen if and buts, right? But now, like, nobody thought about that stuff. So they went in fine. So they waited for so long and they're kicking this particular can. They keep kicking it and kicking it. The next quarter, next year, it will get better. Things are softening up. Bank of Canada is reducing. Not a problem. Things here, things there. Like, they have so many excuses why they believe that this market will turn around on a dime instantly in 24 hours. It will not turn. And even if it does, it will take time. But first, you need to go down on your roller coaster in order to get to your next uphill or the next cycle, right? So, but what has happened? So this is what happened. Now they're calling me, they're like, listen, we need to get rid of this particular unit as fast as possible. And we have only a few weeks left. Come on. Like, you waited all this time anticipating, calculating, but you're calculating what? You know you're sinking, right? So now you waited literally few weeks before they will hand you these keys, and you have to, well, you should have applied for a mortgage, right? Already. So maybe this is one of the reasons, because maybe they got declined, right? So now, like, when you're summarizing the entire situation, so what is left? Now you have another issue. And the issue is the sale has to be assigned, which means it has to be sold off market. And even if we can sell it on MLS, if the developer and the builder accept that, and let's say they do, we do have a better chance, right? But having said that, people have to buy that particular unit as an assignment sale. And that's always much harder than just traditional transactions for so many reasons that I will not get into right now. But that's the problem right now. So now we are stuck, right? Like they don't want to reduce the price, obviously, because they will lose money, obviously, right? They cannot swallow that pill. They cannot take that adrenaline going down on that roller coaster. They cannot. They're fainting already, right? It's too many G-forces now. But you gotta do something. There's gotta be a solution. You kick that particular can to the end. You kick it to the wall. That's it. So now you have to make the decision. No matter what you do, the decision has to be made. So I was hoping, I was kind of, I'm not gonna say praying, but like I kind of thought that they will have enough sense to realize, look, things are not going the way they should, or they're not going accordingly, or our household income is not doing as well. So now we need to get, rid of some stuff. Like, it's okay. Sometimes it happens, right? But they didn't do that. So who knows what's gonna happen? We hope for the best, but we know 95% of those particular situations end up in a disaster. Now, example number 2, acquiring more real estate in that era of investment, speculation, being that entrepreneur in your community, on your street, or whatever, right? Like being the person, right? That everybody takes advice from, right? Now, the tables have turned. So how have they turned? Some of these people have multiple real estate units or homes, doors, however you want to call them. So the time, it's ticking for them as well, right? So I have this situation. They have purchased a home. They renovated the other home. It took them a long time to renovate. And then after that renovation, because all along they were thinking, well, what can happen to real estate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have one that I have moved in. I have the other one. I'm going to hold the other unit or the other home for as long as I can. In the meanwhile, I'm going to renovate it, right? And I'm going to cake it. I'm going to cash out no matter what. Whenever I decide, I can pull the trigger, put that for sale sign, and sell that particular home with no problems. Well, it did not go the way they were planning, because the interest rates started to go up. The whole mess, the inventory started to go up. In the middle of that renovation, they caught themselves in a big problem. And then furthermore, they have a set price that is interesting. They do not want to lose no matter what. And they keep kicking that can until they hit the wall. So once they hit the wall, then everybody else is going to be at fault, right? Their neighbors, their friends, their agents, their bankers, their institutions, the government, you name it. All of them are going to be at fault, but not them. So I just don't understand how some people have that particular mindset that the only way it can go is go up. And yes, I can agree with the fact that we had a run for over 20 years. We have seen that success. But remember, on a roller coaster, you go up for a long time, for 20 years. Now the tip, the end result. So I hope you gained something from this video. I hope to learn something. You can click on all of my other videos that are on the screen, and I will see you in the next one.